If you walked into your local Dollar Tree or Dollar General last week and something felt off, you are not imagining things. Shelves that used to be packed are getting thinner. Products you grabbed without thinking for years are quietly disappearing, and almost nobody is paying attention. I have been watching this happen for months now, and what I found when I started digging into the reasons genuinely caught me off guard. These are not random out-of-stock moments. This is a pattern, and it is accelerating in 2026 faster than most people realize. Today, I am going to walk you through 9 dollar store basics that are vanishing from shelves right now. Some of them you probably bought last week without even thinking about it. And when we get to number 6, I need you to really pay attention, because that one shocked me more than anything else on this list. You will not believe number 6. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, now is the time. I put out videos like this every week so you can stay ahead of what is coming before the rest of the country catches on. Hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and let us get into this. Item number 1. Basic cleaning supplies in standard sizes. This is the one that started my whole investigation. I walked into my local Dollar Tree about 2 months ago looking for a bottle of all-purpose cleaner. The kind I always grab. Simple spray bottle, nothing fancy. The shelf was half empty, and what was left had been reformulated into a smaller bottle with a different label. I thought maybe it was just my store, so I checked 3 more locations over the next 2 weeks. Same story everywhere. Here is what is happening. The suppliers who make those budget cleaning products are getting squeezed hard by raw material costs. The surfactants and solvents that go into basic cleaners have gone up significantly since late 2024. When you are selling something at a $1.25 price point, there is almost no margin to absorb that. So the manufacturers have 2 choices. They either shrink the product or they stop supplying dollar stores altogether. And both of those things are happening right now. I looked into this myself and found that at least 2 major private label suppliers who produce cleaning products for dollar store chains have shifted their focus to higher margin retailers. They would rather sell a $3 bottle to Walmart than a $1.25 bottle to Dollar Tree because the economics just do not work anymore. What you should do right now is stock up on the full-size cleaning basics while they are still available. Grab all-purpose cleaner, dish soap, and glass cleaner. If your store still has them in the original sizes, buy several. These are shelf-stable products. They last for years. You are not going to regret having a small supply in your closet. And if you want to stretch even further, buy concentrated cleaning solutions and dilute them yourself. That is what I have been doing, and it saves a surprising amount of money. This is one of those things that sounds small until you realize you use these products every single day. Do not wait until the shelf is completely bare. Item number 2, aluminum foil and plastic wrap. This one is flying under the radar, and it should not be. If you have been buying aluminum foil at the dollar store, you have probably already noticed the rolls getting thinner. I am not talking about the foil itself, although that has happened too. I mean, the actual roll has fewer square feet on it than it did a year ago. Some of the rolls I have seen recently are down to 15 square feet. That is barely enough to cover a baking sheet twice. The reason is simple. Aluminum prices have been climbing globally. There were new tariff adjustments that hit imported aluminum products earlier this year, and the dollar store price point cannot absorb that increase. So instead of raising the price, they shrink the product. Classic shrinkflation, but at the dollar store level, it hits differently because the product was already minimal to begin with. When you shrink something that was already small, you end up with something almost useless. Plastic wrap is following the same path. The rolls are thinner, the cling is weaker, and some stores have stopped carrying name brand equivalents entirely. I picked up a roll of plastic wrap last month, and it tore every single time I tried to pull it across a bowl. It was basically unusable. I spoke to someone who works in dollar store distribution, and they told me straight up that foil and wrap are among the first products that get cut when suppliers renegotiate contracts. The margins are just too thin. Here is what I recommend. Go to Costco or Sam's Club and buy aluminum foil and plastic wrap in bulk. Yes, the upfront cost is higher, but the cost per square foot is dramatically lower, and the quality is significantly better. One bulk roll of heavy-duty foil from Costco will last you 6 months or more. Compare that to buying a tiny dollar store roll every 2 weeks. You are actually spending more at the dollar store over time. This is one of those switches that saves you real money once you do the math. Do not sleep on this one. Once those rolls disappear from dollar store shelves completely, a lot of people are going to realize they were depending on them more than they thought. Item number 3. Name brand over-the-counter medicine. This is a big one and it concerns me. Walk into any Dollar Tree right now and look at the medicine aisle. What do you see? A year ago, you could find small packs of Tylenol, Advil, Pepto-Bismol, Benadryl, basic stuff that every household needs. Now those spots are either empty or filled with off-brand alternatives that most people have never heard of. The major pharmaceutical companies have been quietly pulling their products from dollar store distribution. The reason is brand positioning. They do not want their products associated with a $1.25 price point because it undermines their pricing at pharmacies and grocery stores. If you can get a pack of Tylenol for $1.25, why would you pay $5 at Walgreens? So they have been restricting supply to dollar channels, and it has accelerated in 2026. I noticed this myself when I went looking for a small pack of ibuprofen for a headache. My Dollar Tree had nothing recognizable. Just a couple of off-brand options with packaging I did not trust. I ended up driving to a pharmacy and paying 4 times as much. Industry reports from early this year confirm that several major OTC brands have renegotiated their distribution agreements to exclude deep discount retailers. This is not speculation. This is happening. What you should do is build a small medicine cabinet at home with the basics bought in bulk from a warehouse store or during sales at your regular pharmacy. Ibuprofen, acetaminophen, antacids, allergy medicine, cold and flu basics. Buy the store brand versions from places like Costco or Amazon. The active ingredients are identical. They are regulated by the FDA. You will pay less per dose than you ever did at the dollar store, and you will actually have them when you need them. This is about protecting your family. When someone has a fever at midnight, you do not want to be driving around looking for an open store because your dollar store stopped carrying what you needed. Item number 4. Reading glasses and basic vision accessories. I know this sounds like a small thing, but hear me out. Millions of Americans depend on dollar store reading glasses. I am one of them. I keep a pair in my car, a pair by my bed, a pair in the kitchen. At $1.25 each, it was easy to have them everywhere. But the selection has been shrinking fast. The reading glasses you used to find at dollar stores were mostly imported from a handful of manufacturers in China. New trade policies and increased shipping costs have made those ultra-low-cost glasses much harder to source at the dollar store price point. Some stores have cut their selection from a full rack down to a handful of styles and strengths. Others have stopped carrying them entirely. I went to 4 different Dollar Tree locations last month specifically looking for reading glasses in my strength. 2 of the 4 stores had none at all. The other 2 had maybe 3 or 4 pairs, none in the strength I needed. If you rely on dollar store reading glasses, go stock up now while you can still find them. Buy several pairs in your strength. These are the kind of thing you do not think about until you reach for them, and they are not there. You can also check Amazon for multi-packs of reading glasses. You can get a pack of 5 or 6 for around $10 to $12, which is still a great deal, and you get to choose your exact strength and style. This might seem minor compared to food and cleaning supplies, but for the people who depend on these, and there are a lot of you, this matters. Do not get caught without them. Item number 5. Basic kitchen utensils and cooking tools. Spatulas, can openers, vegetable peelers, wooden spoons, measuring cups. These are the unglamorous workhorses of every kitchen in America, and the dollar store used to be the best place to grab them. Not anymore. The quality of kitchen tools at dollar stores has dropped off a cliff in the past year. I bought a can opener from Dollar Tree about 6 weeks ago, and it broke the second time I used it. Not bent, not dulled. The handle literally snapped off. I bought a spatula from the same store, and the head separated from the handle after a week. These products have always been budget items, but they used to at least function. Now they are failing almost immediately. What is happening is that suppliers are cutting every possible corner to hit that price point. Thinner metal, cheaper plastic, weaker adhesives. The result is products that technically exist on the shelf, but do not actually work in your kitchen. And some of these items are disappearing from shelves entirely, because even the lowest quality versions cannot be produced cheaply enough. I spoke to someone who runs a housewares import business, and they said the cost of basic stainless steel and food-grade plastic has gone up enough that the ultra-budget kitchen tool category is becoming unviable. Their words, not mine. Here is what I suggest. Invest in a basic set of kitchen tools from a mid-range retailer. A good can opener costs about $8. A decent spatula set runs maybe $10. These will last you years, possibly decades. Compare that to buying a dollar store version every month because it keeps breaking. You are spending more and getting frustrated every time. This is one of those areas where spending a little more once saves you a lot over time. Your kitchen tools should not be a source of stress. Make the switch now while you are thinking about it. Item number 6, pregnancy tests and basic health diagnostics. This is the one I told you about at the beginning, and it genuinely shocked me when I started looking into it. Dollar store pregnancy tests have been a lifeline for millions of women in this country. They use the same basic technology as the expensive pharmacy versions. They detect the same hormone. They are FDA cleared. And for $1.25, they gave women access to critical health information without spending $15 or $20 at a drugstore. But they are disappearing. I visited over a dozen dollar stores across 3 different states over the past 2 months, and more than half of them had no pregnancy tests in stock. The ones that did had very limited supply, often just 1 or 2 boxes tucked in a corner. The manufacturers of these budget diagnostic tests have been consolidating. Fewer companies are making them, and the ones that remain are prioritizing higher-margin retail channels. The raw materials for the test strips, specifically the antibodies used to detect HCG, have increased in cost. At the dollar store price point, there is simply not enough profit to justify continued production at the volumes these stores need. I looked this up myself and found that consumer health advocates have been raising alarms about this since late 2025. Reduced access to affordable pregnancy tests disproportionately affects lower-income communities, which is exactly the population that depends on dollar stores the most. If you or anyone in your household might need pregnancy tests, buy them now in multi-packs from Amazon or Walmart online. You can get bulk strips, the same ones used in medical clinics, for less than $1 each when you buy in packs of 20 or more. They work just as well, they are just as accurate, and you will have them on hand when you need them instead of driving to a store and finding an empty shelf. This one is not about saving money on a luxury item. This is about access to basic health information, and the fact that it is quietly vanishing from the most accessible stores in the country should concern all of us. Item number 7, canned vegetables and shelf-stable pantry basics. Walk into any dollar store 5 years ago, and you could fill a bag with canned green beans, corn, peas, tomatoes, beans. Basic pantry staples that every household uses. The prices were unbeatable, and the quality was perfectly fine for everyday cooking. Now look at those shelves. The variety is shrinking. The brands are changing, and the cans themselves are getting smaller. I picked up a can of green beans at Dollar Tree last week, and it was noticeably lighter than what I remember. When I checked the label, it was 11 ounces instead of the standard 14.5. That is a significant reduction, and the price stayed the same. The canned vegetable supply chain has been under pressure from multiple directions. Crop yields have been inconsistent due to weather patterns. Tin and aluminum costs for the cans themselves have risen. Transportation costs from processing plants to distribution centers have gone up. All of these factors hit dollar store products first because they operate on the thinnest margins in retail. I have been tracking prices on canned goods for the past year as part of my own grocery research, and I can tell you that the gap between dollar store canned goods and grocery store canned goods is narrowing fast. In some cases, the grocery store brand is actually cheaper per ounce when you factor in the shrinkflation happening at dollar stores. My advice is to compare unit prices carefully. Do not assume the dollar store is the cheapest option anymore. Check Walmart, Aldi, and even Amazon for case pricing on canned vegetables. When you find a good deal, buy a case. Canned goods last for years. Build a small pantry reserve of the basics your family uses most. Green beans, corn, diced tomatoes, black beans, chickpeas. Whatever you cook with regularly, have at least a 2-week supply on hand. This is not about hoarding. This is about being smart with your grocery budget and not getting caught paying more for less without even realizing it. Item number 8, basic school and office supplies. If you are a parent, you know the drill. Every August and September you hit the dollar store for notebooks, pencils, glue sticks, folders, crayons. It has been the back-to-school strategy for budget-conscious families for years. But this category is getting gutted. The paper products in particular are taking a hit. Notebook paper quality has dropped noticeably. The pages are thinner, the lines are sometimes uneven, and the covers on composition books are flimsy enough to bend in a backpack within days. Pencils are snapping more easily. Glue sticks are drying out faster. The products still look the same on the outside, but the quality inside has deteriorated to the point where they barely serve their purpose. I bought school supplies for a family member's kids last fall from a dollar store, and within 3 weeks, 2 of the notebooks had fallen apart, and the colored pencils had broken tips right out of the box. That was the moment I realized something fundamental had changed. Suppliers are using lower-grade materials across the board. The wood in pencils is softer. The adhesive in glue sticks is diluted. The cardboard in folders is thinner. Every component has been downgraded to maintain that price point, and the result is products that fail before the school year is half over. Here is what works better. Wait for back-to-school sales at Target, Walmart, or Staples. During those sales, basic supplies drop to prices that compete with or beat dollar store pricing, and the quality is significantly higher. Stock up during those windows. Buy enough for the full school year. You will spend roughly the same amount, and your kids will actually have supplies that last. This is one of those areas where the dollar store used to be the undisputed champion. That is no longer the case, and a lot of families are going to find that out the hard way this coming fall. Item number 9, batteries. I saved this one for near the end because it affects almost everyone and almost nobody is talking about it. Dollar store batteries have been a staple for decades. You grab a pack of AA or AAA batteries for $1.25, and you feel like you won. But the batteries you are getting now at dollar stores are not the same product they were even 2 years ago. The performance has dropped dramatically. I tested this myself. I put dollar store AA batteries in a flashlight and timed how long they lasted compared to a name brand pack from a regular store. The dollar store batteries lasted less than a third of the time. Less than a third. That means you are buying 3 or 4 packs of dollar store batteries to get the same life as 1 pack of Duracell or Energizer. When you do that math, the dollar store batteries are actually more expensive. The reason is that the zinc-carbon chemistry used in the cheapest batteries is being pushed to its absolute limits. Manufacturers are using less active material in each cell to cut costs. The result is a battery that looks normal, fits in your device, and dies almost immediately. On top of that, some dollar stores are reducing their battery selection entirely. Stores that used to carry a full rack of battery options are down to 1 or 2 choices, often in sizes nobody needs. My recommendation is simple. Buy alkaline batteries in bulk from Costco, Sam's Club, or Amazon. The Kirkland brand batteries from Costco are consistently rated among the best performing batteries available, and they cost a fraction of what you would pay for name brands at a pharmacy. A bulk pack will last you months, and every single battery will actually work the way it is supposed to. Stop throwing money away on batteries that die in your TV remote after a week. This is one of the easiest switches you can make, and it will save you real money over the course of a year. Now let me tie all of this together, because there is a pattern here that I think is really important to understand. What we are watching is not just a few products going out of stock. This is a fundamental shift in what dollar stores can offer. The business model that made these stores work for decades was built on a specific economic environment. Low import costs, cheap raw materials, stable shipping rates, and manufacturers willing to produce at razor-thin margins. Every single one of those conditions has changed. Tariffs are higher, shipping is more expensive, raw materials cost more, and manufacturers are making rational business decisions to focus on channels where they can actually make money. Dollar stores are being squeezed from every direction, and the result is exactly what you are seeing on those shelves. Fewer products, lower quality, smaller sizes, and gaps where reliable basics used to be. This does not mean dollar stores are going away tomorrow. They are not. But what they can offer you is shrinking, and if you are still shopping there on autopilot thinking you are getting the same deals you got 3 years ago, you are probably spending more than you realize for less than you expect. The people who come out ahead in times like this are the ones who pay attention, the ones who compare unit prices, the ones who stock up when they find real deals. The ones who are willing to adjust their habits based on what is actually happening instead of what used to be true. That is you. That is why you are watching this video right now. You are already ahead of most people just by being aware of these changes. So here is what I want you to do. Next time you are at a dollar store, look at the shelves with fresh eyes. Check the sizes. Read the labels. Compare prices per ounce to what you would pay at Walmart or Aldi. I think you are going to be surprised by what you find. And if this video helped you see something you had not noticed before, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I put out new videos every week breaking down exactly these kinds of changes, so you can protect your budget and stay ahead of what is coming. Leave a comment and tell me which of these items surprised you the most. I read every single comment, and I use your feedback to decide what to cover next. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this community. I will see you in the next one. Stay smart out there.